Chinese President Xi Jinping warned on Thursday against letting tensions in the Asia-Pacific region cause a relapse into a Cold War mentality. His remarks on the sidelines of the annual summit of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum came weeks after the US, Britain and Australia announced a new security alliance in the region which would see Australia build nuclear submarines. China has harshly criticized the deal. And in a separate illustration of strains within APEC, one Southeast Asian delegate told the Associated Press that the group had so far failed to reach agreement on a U.S. bid to host the 2023 summit due to unmet demands from Russia. She spoke in a pre-recorded video to a CEO summit at APEC, which is being hosted by New Zealand in a virtual format. She is scheduled to participate in an online meeting with other Pacific Rim leaders, including U.S. President Joe Biden on Saturday. In his speech, Xi said attempts to draw boundaries in the region along ideological or geopolitical lines would fail. His reference to the Cold War echoes Beijing's oft-stated position that the U.S. should abandon that way of thinking in dealing with China. The Asia-Pacific region cannot and should not relapse into the confrontation and division of the Cold War era, she said. She also said the region should make sure to keep supply lines functioning and to continue liberalizing trade and investment. China will remain firm in advancing reform and opening up so as to add impetus to economic development, he said. The most pressing task in the region is to make an all-out effort to fight the pandemic and to emerge from its shadow as soon as possible, he said. Meanwhile, the Southeast Asian delegate, who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they weren't authorized to publicly discuss the issue, said Russia had refused to support the U.S. bid unless some of its diplomats were removed from a U.S. blacklist or allowed to enter the U.S. to participate in the APEC meetings. The delegate said the U.S. is unlikely to agree to Russia's demands because issues involving America's security are considered non-negotiable. The delegate added that China had stayed silent on the U.S. offer. If the 21 APEC leaders failed to reach a consensus on the U.S. bid by Friday, the delegate said, a paragraph in a draft of the summit communique welcoming the U.S. offer would have to be deleted. New Zealand's Foreign Minister Nanaia Mahuta said earlier this week that APEC was founded on consensus and that there was not yet a confirmed host for 2023. Human rights lawyer Amal Clooney also spoke at the CEO summit, saying she believed that liberal democracies could improve global human rights by pressuring autocratic nations.